All right, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Every Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, I try to set aside some space for us to gather together and do some meditation. Every week, I try to pick a theme that I think is relevant for what's going on in my life or the world overall. And so for this week, I wanted to bring forward the idea of peace to all. And there's been some really horrific news, not only the last 2 days around violence and kidnapping and war, but we've seen a lot of natural disasters in the last few months, earthquakes in particular. And I just wanted to invite some space for ourselves to do some work around peace because we're not going to change somebody else's experience. Like we can send them well wishes, we can send them blessings, but what we can take responsibility for is our experience in the world and the vibe that we carry with us as we go about our lives, as we interact with individuals, whether it's in person or virtually. And we can take responsibility for what kind of vibrations we're putting in the world. So we can, when we go about our day, go about our interactions, we can be sending out agitation, angst, worry, fear, anger. Or as we go about our day, we can be sending out vibrations of love, peace, care, concern. And that's something that I think is really valuable because even if we can't make somebody else's experience of life better, we can do our part to try and bring peace and love and compassion to anybody we meet or anyone we interact with as best as we're able. And as we do this, we hopefully make our specific part of the world a better place. So, doing what we can to create a peaceful, loving environment in our immediate surroundings. So, please get comfortable. You can sit on the floor like I'm doing. You can sit in a chair like my dog is doing. You can lay down, do whatever feels right for you. And we're going to settle in. So, take a couple deep breaths. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. So allow yourself to breathe and just notice, how are you feeling? Feel the breath travel in. Feel the breath travel out. Notice what your breath is telling you. Notice what you observe within yourself as you breathe. I'm going to chant the sound Om. Om is the vibration of our particular universe. It brings us into attunement with our higher qualities. And as you breathe, try to visualize the breath traveling down the front of your body on the inhale. As you exhale, allow the breath to come up the backside of your body. And notice when you turn your focus within, regardless of what's going on in your external life, in your day, in your relationships, in the world, there is an eternal quality within you of effervescence, of joy. There is an eternal quality within you of love, of compassion, and there is also an eternal quality of peace. So notice as you turn your focus inside of you, if you can feel any of that. Search for it because it's there. It is always there. We're going to, as we approach this idea of cultivating peace and sharing peace with other people, we're going to explore an idea that is a little bit complex. So stick with me as best as you can. In spiritual work, there's this idea called a detachment. And it's not a word you hear me use a lot, because when I hear the word detachment, it often signals this idea of not wanting to be here, not wanting to be in this world, that we somehow rise above it. And I don't like that idea because I think we are meant to be here in this world. We are meant to intensely experience our humanness, to experience the joys, the sorrows, the complexity of life. And so we're not trying to become something more than human. We're not trying to become saints or superheroes or anything other than just our rooted, beautiful, authentic selves. So that's why I don't tend to use the word detachment. It implies this idea of becoming something other, detaching from reality. The truth around detachment is the ability to separate from the experience of life while being deeply connected to it, but having this little gap so you become the observer of reality. Just like if you go to a movie theater, you can get so absorbed in the film that you think you are in the movie on the screen. Or you could become very keenly aware of the fact that you are sitting in a movie theater eating popcorn in a reclining chair, and the movie is taking place in front of you. You can achieve that same state in your life so that you're still fully engaged in your life and enjoying it, but you also realize that this is, some traditions call it a dream, some call it a game, some call it an illusion. But this step back to say, ultimately, none of this matters. No matter what's going on for you, no matter what's going on in the world, yes, it both intensely matters, but it also doesn't. Yes, we want to alleviate pain and suffering and create more love and joy, but also recognize that this is a great dream we're experiencing, and one day we will awake from it. And to stay engaged in the world and be compassionate and do good work. But through this detachment, find a level of rootedness in a state of tranquility and peace, because everything comes and goes. Everything will live and die. Everything will rise and fall and rise again. It is all in motion. It is all cyclical. It is all coming and going and coming again. And so we aren't as invested. We don't think this is reality. We observe it as being a fabrication. And that allows us to love more freely, stay in a state of peace and tranquility, and share abundantly, because we realize we are all just characters absorbed in a movie going about our life as if it were real, but it is not. It is a fantasy we are willingly exploring. I don't discuss this idea very often because a lot of people mistake it as, well, if this is just a dream and I'm just here, my goal through spiritual work is to step out of the dream, then why does any of this matter? Fuck it. Can adopt a more nihilistic point of view that nothing matters. But instead to say it fiercely matters. Life matters. I consciously chose to enter this reality, to enter this dream, to enter this existence, this simulation, whatever you want to call it, for the joy of experiencing it. Not the joy of birthday parties and cake and ice cream and sex and puppies, which are all joyful, fun experiences, but the joy, the deeper joy that comes from being intensely human, with all the sorrow, all the difficulties, all the challenges, all the frustrations, all the high points, all the love, all the laughter, all the kinship, all the happiness. A more encompassing joy that says, gosh, I'm so lucky to be alive. An example of this, and maybe you've had this experience, maybe you haven't, is, have you ever had a moment where something moves you deeply to cry? Like someone broke your heart, or you lost something or someone you dearly cared about. And in the midst of your crying, in the midst of your grief, you recognize the fact that you're grieving, and you start to laugh or you start to smile and say, gosh, these feelings are intensely uncomfortable, but aren't I lucky to be feeling right now? Isn't it amazing that I'm so intensely in this human experience that I am feeling this deeply and profoundly? How lucky am I to be feeling? That's the detachment we're seeking. That's what we're talking about. And again, just to clarify, just because you recognize the fabricated nature of this reality doesn't mean we don't seek kindness. It doesn't mean we don't seek compassion. We should fiercely love. We should fiercely seek to assuage our suffering and the suffering of others. We should fiercely seek to improve the quality of all sentient life, human, animal, plant, earth, whatever you want to call it. We should do our best to make this as amazing of a fabricated reality as we can, to evolve, to grow, to bloom, but to recognize at the same time that this is all a dream from which we will one day awake. To hold both extremities. This intensely matters, nothing matters. I am the creator of my reality. I have no control. I need to give it up because life is carrying me. Everything is light, everything has darkness. Everything has joy, everything has sorrow. There is no positive and negative. There is positive and negative. We have to hold that duality. This is a very complex thing to hold, and it takes, for many people, quite some time to get there. But when we can really root into this, it is possible to find a lingering sense of peace. A peace that is not determinant on how people are treating us or the quality of our environment or the time of day or the food we're eating, but we are able to stay in a state of peace no matter what. And when we are able to root into that peace, then we can go anywhere in the world and bring that tranquility and love and consciousness. And so as we go about our day, we might be intensely in a workout at the gym. We might be fiercely engaged in a conflict resolution session at work. We might be scolding our child for not doing their homework. But through it all, we are tethered to this profound state of peace, tranquility, and love. So whatever superficially is going on, we're aware of, we're engaged with, but we are rooted into that deeper state that is ever present. So that's a lot of philosophizing. Maybe you followed it, maybe it was meaningful to you, maybe you tuned out or clicked off or thought that was garbage, and that's okay. Breathe in, peace. Breathe out, love to share with the world. Be aware of the suffering of life around us. Care. Bless it. Bless them. Ask for healing and growth. And at the same time, surrender to the knowledge that all is well. All has been well and all will be well, because our fundamental truth is that of peace and bliss and perfection. Inhale peace. Exhale love. This is a very complex idea, so hopefully it's not too intense for you all. There is a deep peace within us. Every one of us. May you find it. May you be a light in the darkness. May you be a fountain of peace in troubled times. Where others find despair, let you share hope and love. May you be kind even when others are cruel. May you remind each person you inquire of their higher nature, even when they wallow in the mud. May you always be a bright spot on the horizon, even in the darkest of nights. May you be a lighthouse on stormy seas. May you bring peace into this world. May we live and move towards greater times of peace. We send blessings and light to those who are suffering in the world. We send blessings and light to those who need healing and inspiration. We send blessings and light to those who cause harm, that they may be well and no longer hurt one another. We bless our enemies, we bless our friends and allies, we bless our loved ones, we bless ourselves. May all creatures be blessed, including those who are least deserving, including those who are most deserving. May all beings be blessed. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Notice, how do you feel? How does taking these moments to really focus on peace serve you? And how do you feel like this is something you can maybe carry into the world? And maybe you're able to share some of the good vibes you cultivated this evening with others. Because these gifts, these things that we work to grow inside of ourselves, are not meant to be held in isolation. They're meant to be shared. Our gifts, our blessings grow the more they're shared, the more that they are given away freely. When we try to hold on to them is when they suffocate and deplete. So whatever good you've accumulated this evening, share it lovingly with others. Thank you all so much for your time and focus. I hope this was a benefit for you. If ever you have a specific topic you'd like me to lead a meditation on, or a video you'd like me to create an edited video on, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you love the work that we do here, please consider Joining us on Patreon, you get early access to my edited videos a day before everybody else. Also, you'll get behind the scenes and exclusive meditations and perks like that. If you want to come work with us in person, I am hosting a retreat in February in Vermont, so please consider coming to check that out. It's going to be a really beautiful, cozy experience. A lot of focus on using the dark time of the year and the long nights in the winter to really turn within and do some healing and grief work and connection. We were pretty much close to sold out, then 2 people had to drop out due to travel difficulties and just getting from the West Coast to the East Coast. So we do have a couple spaces still left. So if you're thinking about it, please turn in an application. You can find that on my website. Link is below in the description, ecstaticself.com. And if ever you need more direct help, I'm always available to talk one-on-one. I offer free consultation calls. So if ever you want to just jump on a video chat for a little bit and just share what's going on for you, I'm always happy to listen. And of course, work one-on-one more long-term through coaching if that's something you want and or need. Please share this practice with anyone you think will find it valuable. The more we share what we learn and the more we offer to others, the more that this world improves. Despite the difficulties we are facing in the world nowadays, I really do think we are living in a wonderful time where things are getting better. I know from the day-to-day it doesn't feel like it. From the day-to-day we see absolute chaos erupting around us. But remember, for the big scope of things, nowhere in recent human history have so few people been in poverty, have so many people that have access to stable food supplies and running water, adequate shelter, heating and cooling, education. By so many metrics, we are living at the best possible place and time to be alive. So even in these dark moments where the news wants to tell us how terrible things are, let's remember the bigger picture, that we are in a very fortunate place to be here, to be now, to see the blessings around us, to recognize it, and to refuse to give in to the fear. Because the media and social media make their money by making you afraid. They make their money by making you angry. And the more afraid and the more angry you get, the longer you'll click, the longer you'll watch, the more you'll tune in. It doesn't make you feel better. It just increases the anger and dissatisfaction in the world. So instead, I'm not telling you to bury your head in the sand and ignore what's going on, but to just consciously choose to engage. Be aware. How is it affecting you? How much are you taking in? And are you taking in more than A, you can process, and B, you can actually do anything with? Because if it just makes you angry and afraid and you can't do anything, how much is it really serving you? Refuse to give into the narrative that these are the worst possible times and everything's messed up. Believe that we are blessed. Believe that we are well. Believe that we are surrounded by love. Because the truth is, if this is all a dream, if this is all an illusion, then you get to choose what kind of an illusion you're living in. You get to choose this reality. And if you want to see it as a blessed, sacred, amazing place to be, it will be that. And if you want to believe that this is hell manifested on earth, it will be that too. It is your choice. Dwell in peace or dwell in fear. Choose wisely. Because if you don't choose, someone else will choose for you. Namaste, my loved ones, brothers, sisters, siblings, friends, family. It is such a pleasure to get to share this space with you. Be well, go with light, go with love. May you be surrounded by blessings, abundance, and peace. Thank you all so much for your time, heart, and energy. Hope to see you well. Husband, if you're watching, I know you're on the road, sending you much love. Thank you all for your support and kindness. Take care.